Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mayowa Oye. Today's tutorial will be based off of a mix of two different designs. First, it will be based off this simple princess style line with cinched waist, and secondly, it's going to be based off this exaggerated hips lower part, so to form this dress that I've made for myself. And the best part of this dress for me is the fitted cinched waist it gave me. Anyways, let's proceed into the tutorial proper. So guys, to proceed with today's tutorial, these are the patterns I'm going to be using. This is my basic front dress block, and this is my basic back dress block. So yeah, I always mention at the start of my tutorials that I don't teach how to draft basic blocks on YouTube. I teach them in my private classes. So yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, you can send me a message on Instagram to find out more about it. Now, to start with, you'll be needing your front basic dress block that has like your two dots front basic dress block. That is what you'll be needing for this dress design. So I'm going to be keeping my back pattern aside while we start with the front. Now, the next thing will be to decide how long you want the dress to be. So just measure from your shoulders down to where you want it to be. And for me, my own dress length is going to be about 37 inches. So just measure 37 inches down. So this is it for me. This is all I want for mine. Now, the next thing will be to work on the lower part of the dress. At my waist level right here, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches down. Then at the center right here, I'm going to measure 4 to 5 inches down. So anywhere that stops, just mark that. So for me, I'm just going to settle it's around where my dart stops here. So on the line where my dart stops, that is where I want to. So you can always measure between 4 or 5 inches down, or anyhow you want it, but it should not really be too long because I want to like connect it here. So 4 to 5 inches, between 4 to 5 inches is just okay. Now, before connecting this to this, because I don't want it to have like a sharp point right here, I'll just go in by 1 inch here, and this is it. So now I'm just going to use my French curve to draw a curved line from here all the way back to this spot here. So yeah, this is it connected. Sorry, ignore this. I made a mistake when I was drawing the lines. So this is now the shape of this part here. So it comes straight here, then starts curving up around here. So you got the drift. Now I'm going to cut this open at this point here so that we can separate the upper part and the lower part. So now this is it splitted. So I'm going to keep this upper part aside while we work on the lower part. So for the lower part here, I'm going to add a bit of paper at the side here just to accommodate all of the adaptations we need to do to the side. Now, to create the wide hip extension I'm putting in my own design, at the hip here, I'm going to go out by 3 inches, depending on how wide you want the hips to be. So for me, I'm going to go out by 3 inches. Then at the hem right here, I'm going to go out by 1 inch because I want it to be pegged. I want it to be a bit penciled up towards the hem. So I'll go out by 1 inch at the hem, and now I'm going to connect it. So to connect from here, I'm going to use the curved part of my French curve to draw like a hip curve around this part, and then I'll connect straight to the hem. So yeah, this is it for me. Don't make sure this place is not sharp and it's curved. Don't draw in shaded lines like me. Make sure it's like light, draw a light stroke so it's not shaded, and make sure it's curved. So yeah, that is all for the lower part. So all you have to do is to just like add your allowance, ½ inch at the top here, 1 inch at the side, and at the hem maybe another 1 inch to fold it when you're sewing. So let's move to the upper part of the dress front. Now for this, we have to do a little bit of dart manipulation, because if you look at the style line of the dress, you would see that the dart right here is not right here. It's like around the middle of the shoulders, and the waist dart here also. So it's tilted. It's also tilted a bit to the side, and it's not right at where our dart line is. It's tilted a bit to the side. So we need to do some sort of like dart manipulation to accommodate all of that. Now we'll start with the upper neck dart right here. Now to move this dart to the center of my shoulders, I'll mark where I want to move the dart. So for me, I want it at the center of my shoulders, and this is it here. Sorry. Now I'm going to draw a line connected. I'll draw a line to connect to my bust point right here. Now I'm going to cut one leg of my dart here. I'll cut one leg, I'll cut it open, and then I'll cut this also open all the way to my bust point, but I'll not cut it off. So you got the drift. Now I'm going to lift this now. I'll lift this now so I can close the dart. So this is it closed, and then I'll place a piece of paper here just to cover the hole basically. Now for the waist part, I'm going to mark this part here where I want this dart here to come to. So yeah, for that I'm going to mark about maybe 2.5 or 3 inches from the side here. I'll just mark 2.5 or 3 inches in. So this is it right here. Now I'm going to draw a line from my bust point here to this point. Now for this one, I'm going to move the dart from here to this line. So I'll measure the dart intake that I have from here to here, and then I'll measure it right here this way, measure it this way. So what you have from here to here, you measure it here, and then what you have from here to here, you measure it here. So I hope you got the drift. So this is it here. Now I'm going to connect this back to my bust point here, and connect this back to my bust point here. Then I also connect this way, this way. Now I'm just going to shade this out so you know it's no longer here. Now I want to add some more ease. I said more ease. I want to add some more fits to the waist. So right here, I'm going to draw a line from here down here. So this is the line I drew just so that the waist is even more cinched. So just draw a line from here, from the dart point here to this point right here. Now at the waist level here, I'm going to measure. You can measure a 1/2 inch dart, so nothing too much, just so that it's not too tight. So maybe a 1/4 inch this way, a 1/4 inch this way, so together it's 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to connect from here to here, and then connect from here to here, then can also connect from here to here, and connect from here to here. Now it's time to cut it all out, but before I cut it, I'm going to label it just so that it is easy to identify. So I'll just label this one, and it can also be known as your center front, and then I'll label this 2, also known as the first side front, that is side front 1, and then I'll label this 3, also known as side front 2. So yeah, now let's cut. So I'll be starting with cutting this first. So I'll cut this along this line, this way, this way, this way. You got the drift. Before we cut, we need to draw in our neckline. You can see that there is no neckline here right now, so I need to draw in my neckline, and this is the this is my shoulder point here. My shoulder point here, I'll go in by 1 inch, and then from here I'll go down by 3 inches because I just want to draw a Kano neckline. So 3 inches from here down, from my shoulder point here, 1 inch in. And now I'm just going to draw a curved neckline this way. Now for the extended sleeve, at my shoulder point here, I'm going to raise it up by 1/2 inch, and I'm going to draw a straight line from here down to this point here. So this is it. Now you're going to extend it by how much you want. So you can extend by maybe 1 or 2 inches depending on how much extended you want to have your sleeve. So for me, I'm just going to extend this from here to here by 1.5 inches. Now I'm going to drop my armhole just a bit by 1 inch. So from here, drop by 1 inch. Now the 1.5 inches I extended out here, I'll measure it out also here, 1.5 inches at this my armhole level, my original armhole level here. And then I'm just going to draw a slight curve like this. You can use your French curve, so I'm just using this just so you can see. Now I'll draw a straight line to this point. Now to give it a little bit of shaping, because the way it is now, as straight as it is now, it just looks bland. So I'm just going to locate the middle of this part to this part. So if this is the middle right here, I'll go in by 3/4 inches. And now you can just use your French curve to draw like a curve this way and then this way. And that's all for the pattern. So I already mentioned that this pattern is not for beginners, so it's a bit like more intermediate. So I'm just going to shade this part out, you know, now like this is now the new shape of our extended sleeve here, and then it will go this way. Please make sure you draw your line, this dart here, you need to draw it in here, like you need to extend it in here. And you can also redraw the shape of the dart line, so just redraw it and connect it here, redraw it and connect it here, just so everything looks more even and you don't have any problems when you're sewing. So yeah, and now let's cut. So I'll cut this way, this way, then I'll cut this way, then this way, this way. And this completes what your pattern will look like. So that's that for the upper part, and this is the lower part. Remember the little dots here left over here, make sure you close it. That's that for the pattern of the front. That is that for the pattern of the front. Now we move to the back. The back is really easy. Most of the things, everything we did for this part, for this lower part, you do it also for the back. For the upper part, I'll show you how to do the upper part, but it's really easy too. But I won't be showing how to do this because it's just basically the same way as this one. Now this is the back pattern. I'm not going to do everything I did on the front. I'm not going to do everything on the back. The ones that are similar to the front, I'll not do them on the back. Just the different ones, that's what I'll be doing. So I'll tell you the ones that are similar to the front. So now for the back, you're not going to be drawing any like curve here. It has to be straight. Just cut it open at your actual waist, and you keep it aside. So before keeping it aside, you do the exact same we did, how we extended the hip line for the front. Let me just show you that. So the hip line extension we did for the front, you need to do the same thing here and the same thing for the hem, so that you can arrive at this shape for the back also. Apart from that, nothing else. So we don't have this curved shape at the back. Now for the upper part, nothing really big also. You do the same shoulder extension we did for the front. You do the same thing for this one also, like you raise it up by ½ inch, extend the shoulder, draw the reduce the armhole length, everything. Just watch that part again, the part where I was extending this, and do the same also for the back. Now for the darts, that's what is different. Now for the back, locate your back width. That is something that should already be on your basic pattern. So it's not something that I will show you how to arrive at. It is something that is always on your basic pattern. So I'm just going to trace my own in here. So this is my back width right here. So it is usually half of your armhole length. So if this is your armhole level from here to here, so measure it, divide by 2, and that is your back width. Although I don't know how you make your own patterns, but that is how I get my own back width length. So yeah, that's that. So now at this point here on my dart line, I'll measure ½ inch out, ½ inch out, or better still, ¼ inch. So measure ¼ inch out, ¼ inch out, because I feel like ½ inch is a bit too much. So ¼ inch out here, ¼ inch out here. Then draw a straight line up and down, a straight line also up and down, and that's all. So that's that. So this will be my center back, and this will be my side back. However, you know that we had 2 darts on the front, so we need to also have 2 darts at the back. So I'm just going to draw a straight line from here down. So you can just measure maybe 1 inch in or 2 inches in. It doesn't have to be the same measurement as that. So just measure 2 inches in at your waist level here. Then you draw a straight line. So yeah, this is it. Now I'm just going to draw I'll measure in the same measurements that I did for the front. I think I did about yeah, ¼ inch here, ¼ inch here, and this is it. So just connect this way, connect this way. And that's basically it. So just label 1, 2, 3. So this will be side back 1, and side back too. Now you cut out, so you cut center back this way out. I'm leaving the basic neckline as it is, so I'm not changing the neckline. However, you need to put in the 1 inch, we shorten 1 inch in front at the shoulder, so I'll just shoot in 1 inch and then I'll reconnect it back to this spot. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You can see that. So now you can just cut, and that's it, all cut out. So remember, there's going to be an extension here, a shoulder extension here, so do that. I'm just not doing that because I'm not showing an illustration of it in this tutorial. It's something that I've already talked about in the front part when I was talking about the front. So yeah, that's that. This is the upper part, this is the lower part. So now all I have to do now is to just cut all of them out, and then I'll show you what it looks like before we can move straight to sewing all the pieces together. So guys, here are my cut out pieces. I already cut them out of my fabric, and this is my center front. You can see I decided to cut this out of an Ankara, and then I ironed on an interfacing to it. So you can see this is the interfacing iron. I also cut a lining, so I'm using the same Ankara fabric I'm using to sew. I'm using it as a lining too. So yeah, that's that for that. So this is the side front one. This is the first side front. I already also cut that out, and then I cut it out of like this navy blue cotton fabric. So yeah, and then this is side front 2 right here. So, and that's that for the front. And these are my back pieces. This is the center back here, this is the side back 1 here, and this is side back 2 here. So I cut all of this from my navy blue cotton fabric. I didn't use any Ankara at the back, and this is my lining. So same thing here also. So, and that same thing here. So yeah, you can see that I used like a white interfacing here. That's because my black interfacing finished up, so I had to use like another one that I had, and this is the white one. So, and this is my lower skirt piece for the front. You can see this is the curve, the front curve that we did on our pattern. It's right here. So this is my lining. This is what I'm using as a lining. I'm using the same fabric as the lining. However, I've cut this short because I don't have a lot of fabric. I don't have enough fabric, so I've cut this short. So my lining is like just stopping here. So I am on interfacing onto this also to give it like a bit of structure, so for the hip line. So, and that's that. So I did the same also for the back piece also, and this is my back piece, same concept. I also cut the lining for the back short. So yeah, that's that. The reason why I'm doing all this mix and match is because it's my own dress. If I was making it for somebody else, I would definitely not be using different colors of lining for the dress. So yeah, just because I didn't have enough fabric to like just complete everything. So yeah, that's that. Now we now have to move to sewing. So sewing this is pretty easy, especially for the lower part. So I'll just start with the lower part, and then I'll not talk about the lower part again. We'll move straight to the front, to the upper part of the dress. So for the lower part, it's pretty easy, just like you would make a skirt. So that is how you would do this. So just open it up, place your lining this way, and then I'll just place my lining this is the lining. I'll just place it this way, and then I'll just sew this like with a maybe like just a simple stitch here, just to keep the lining attached to my actual skirt. And then you can decide also to just sew this down, sew the hem of your lining down, just to keep that part neat. So you just fold it in and stitch it down, and that's that. So you do the same also for the back, and when we are ready, we'll place this way. This is the front, and then I'm going to place my back piece right sides together with the front. So, and then we'll sew 1 inch at the side, 1 inch at the side here. So you got the drift. So that's that for the lower part. So let's just move straight to the upper part. So guys, this is the front upper part. So I already opened all of this up. It was like this before folded, so I just opened it up this way. So now to sew this, I'll just place this is side front one. I'll place it right sides together with this, and then I'll sew, but I'll be starting from the bottom part, that is the hem. Then I'll just begin to sew the ½ inch that we added as an allowance, because I added an ½ inch allowance, so I'll sew all the way. Guys, here it is sewn. I've already completed sewing. This is the full front, and this is the lining for the front. So all I'm going to do is to just place this right sides together, and then I'll sew the neckline. I'll finish up the armhole too. I'll sew by ½ inch just to like finish it up, and then I'll turn it inside, iron it flat, and all of that. So yeah, by the time I'm done sewing that, I'll just place my lower skirt piece below here. I'll place it, and then I'll sew by ½ inch right here. So yeah, that's that. So that's the next thing I'm going to be doing, and I'm also going to do the same also for the back piece. So this is what my back piece looks like. This is one side of the back piece, you can see. This is the other side here, right here. So that's that, and I'm fixing my zipper here. So yeah, so if I want to attach a boning, I don't know if I have a boning yet. So if I want to attach a boning, I'll be attaching it to the lining part. So I'll just attach my boning here, I'll attach another one here, attach one here, and attach another one here, just to give it some structure. So I do the same for the back too if you want to attach a boning. So yeah, that's that. So that's all I'm going to be doing now, and then I'll show you what maybe the final thing looks like.
And this is the finished dress, guys. It gave me that cinched waist look, and I completely love it. Don't forget to tap the subscribe button below your screen, tap the like button also, and I'll see you in my next video.